I just grabbed the last two kosher for Passover. And this is why I say, like, as early as you can, because if you can see that says kosher for Passover. And the last one here is just kosher. And so I grabbed the last two that are kosher for Passover. So that's why I say always go early. We're about 2 weeks out. So I had actually intended to film a video of me doing a slow cooked chicken stew recipe that I like to do around this time of year. I actually didn't get around to doing that because, well, I stated in another video that I was planning to travel this year for Passover, but while I was traveling, I came down with something. A lot of us came down with something, so on my way back, I actually had a fever on the plane. Before I left for my trip, I had actually cut up all the veggies for pre-prep so that it's ready for me to cook as soon as I get home, because my mother was actually intending to come visit me, and she was going to be flying in the same day that I was flying in, and I had cleaned out the house so there was no food, and I had asked her not to bring any food because, she's not in the way, but she does try her best to respect my wishes. So I literally had to order some chicken while I was on the plane with a fever. When I got on the Uber, went to go pick the chicken up, brought it home, put the chicken in the oven to let it roast for a little while. Also took the veggies from the freezer that I cut up, put them in the pot, then added the chicken, added some chicken broth, some seasonings, and let that steep for 8 hours while I waited for her to come. And she actually, caught whatever I had while she was here, so we ended up living off of that chicken soup and the unleavened bread that I'm going to show you how I made later. So I decided to make some unleavened bread, quote unquote, with rice flour. I actually saw this recipe online for rice flour dosa, which is a Middle Eastern type of bread that they eat with their meals. So I got the rice flour from my local H Mart. You can find it at any Asian grocery store. Just make sure that it's actually just rice flour, because remember when I was cleaning, I found rice cake that was actually made of wheat flour, not rice flour. So wheat flour isn't actually bad. It's just you have to make sure that it's not self-rising wheat flour, because it has baking soda, and I consider baking soda to be a leavening agent. And also there's some theories around how long it takes for wheat flour to start fermenting and form its own yeast. So there's like a whole cook time that you have to abide by. I just think rice flour is easier. Make sure to check the description box for any links to some of those recipes. The first batch of this I just made with milk and butter and some salt, and then that's a plain batch that can be used with anything like breakfast food. I could put jam, I could toast it, put cinnamon, a syrup, or whatever. And then the second batch I just added in some parsley, garlic, and green onion for a savory batch, and that's pretty much what we had with the chicken soup.